Her name is Nadia, 26 years old, from Pingshan, Henan, and she's a vocal teacher. This is her husband, who's just heading downstairs to buy breakfast. They don't usually cook at home. Most of their meals are either takeout or from small local restaurants. Sometimes they'll make instant meals at home. Just a month ago, they officially registered as a married couple. This is their marriage certificate issued by the government. Most people in China choose to get a certificate first and hold the wedding later. Nadia and her husband are planning to have their wedding next year, and we've arranged to film it on that day. This is their pet parrot. Every morning, they let it out to roam around the living room. While keeping birds was traditionally something only older people did in China. In recent years, this habit is being redefined by younger generations. Do you apply makeup every day?
我是每天都化妆。
How many days in a year do you wear makeup?
1/3吧。
How long does it take to do your makeup each time?
20-30分钟。
At 9 a.m., Nadia's first class begins. She likes to arrive about 10 minutes earlier than her students. To make sure she can leave the house without rushing, her husband always prepares breakfast in advance. Nut bread, steamed buns, egg pancakes, and a cup of hot tea. Today, since we're filming, the breakfast table looks a bit more generous than usual. After eating, she gently coaxes her parrot back into its cage, gets dressed, grabs her bag, and heads out the door. Nadia works in the city center, about 3 miles from home, a 15-minute ride on her electric scooter. In China, no matter which city you are in, electric scooters are the main way people get around. They're cheap to run, faster than cars in traffic, and parking is free. That's why almost everyone loves them. The blanket on the front is called a windshield. In summer, it blocks the sun and keeps legs from tanning. In winter, it keeps you warm. It's small but a clever Chinese invention. The street is the city's music education hub, and Nadia's classroom is right here. It's a children's music school she runs together with her husband. After graduating college 3 years ago, she works as an elementary school teacher, earning around $500 a month. To make some extra income, she started this weekend music program. But as China's birth rate keeps dropping, schools have begun downsizing. Earlier this year, Nadia lost her teaching job. Fortunately, her music school still brings in around $800 a month, enough to keep her doing what she loves. Nadia is ready for class, but her students still haven't arrived. In China, parents see punctuality very differently between schools and private tutoring. In schools, being late is considered disrespectful to both the teacher and the class. Parents worry their child may get criticized, which will make them lose face. But tutoring centers are different. They operate more like service business. Parents are the paying clients, and the children are the customers. In this setup, many parents believe, I'm paying for this, so the teacher should adapt to us. In China's education system, parents are often eager to enroll their children in art classes like music, dance, or painting. On the other hand, they want their kids to develop a personal hobby and a sense of passion, but on the other hand, there's also a practical reason behind it. In China's college entrance exams, known as Gaokao, students with art-related skills can sometimes earn extra points. For some families, taking the art exam path can be an easier way into university than relying solely on academic grades. So, art education in China is often both a matter of interest and strategy. Because the first class was delayed by 20 minutes, the next student and parents were already waiting outside. After sending off the previous students, Nadia brought the next child into the classroom. But this little boy seemed too young and a bit afraid to be alone. He wanted his mom to stay with him during the lesson. Hearing this from outside, the father immediately stood up. And then
不行。
如果不行的话，我带着你走。现在不学了，你想不想学？
你不是特喜欢吗？
不，你没有一次，有一次有一次，快啊！
哦，好，不渴。啊，那妈妈只带一小会儿，好不好？
你看，我跟你说啊，秋林，你看你给他惯的。
那你不哭了，好不好？
你看他一弄你都是这，你以后你带他。
你看看爸爸不行。
in many Chinese families, fathers are usually the strict ones. They emphasize rules and responsibility. Mothers, on the other hand, are more nurturing, offering comfort and patience when the child gets emotional. In the end, the mother and her son reached a compromise. She agreed to sit by the door and watch him during the lesson.
小鸡、小鸭、小鹅、小鸡、小鸭和一只小鹅，大家在一起干嘛呀？
唱歌。
对，大家在一起唱歌，所以是小鸡、小鸭和一只小鹅，大家一起唱歌。
小鸡小鸭和一只小鹅，大家一起唱歌。叽叽叽叽叽，呱呱呱呱呱，叽叽叽，呱呱呱，叽叽叽，呱呱呱，叽叽叽叽，呱呱呱。
Each vocal or piano lesson lasts 60 minutes. Since it's a weekend and students are off school, Nadia has a full schedule today. 6 lessons in total, 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. On regular weekdays, she might only have 1 or 2 classes. There's barely any break between lessons. As soon as one student leaves, the next one is already at the door.
哆咪哆咪发，你若是对我说，这块是我家，灿烂的阳光下，种下玫瑰花，为了实现国家的富强梦，即使有风，即使有风雨，我们也不怕。妈妈对我说，中华是我家，兄弟和姐妹，勤劳又奋发，看那民族复兴的前方路，开满了绚丽多彩的鲜花。
After finishing her 3 morning lessons, Nadia has a 3.5-hour break before the next class. It starts at 4 p.m. and goes until 7. She takes her electric scooter and brings us to her favorite local noodle shop, a place she and her husband have visited countless times. The restaurant's specialty is this bowl of noodles. The broth is made from lamb and bones, rich and savory, paired with white hand-pulled noodles. It's a dish that perfectly represents the local flavor, and it costs less than $2. If you're still hungry, you can even get a free refill of noodles. In a smaller city, the average income isn't high, but the cost of living is low, which means much less pressure. Nadia doesn't have many classes during weekdays, sometimes not at all, and only gets busy on weekends. She enjoys a simple, relaxed lifestyle. Another reason they can live so comfortably is because they don't have a mortgage. This is their neighborhood, an old apartment complex built in the 1990s. The apartment originally belonged to her husband's parents, and they renovated it before moving in. Nadia and her husband both have pets. She has a parrot, and he has a golden retriever. Once the parrot went missing, they eventually found it inside the dog's mouth, completely covered in drool. Nadia's husband also teaches music in the same classroom. Since they only have 1 classroom, they work in shifts. As soon as Nadia lies down for a nap, her husband wakes up and heads out to teach.
哦，不要气。
Nadia's husband teaches 2 classes in the afternoon, one from 2 to 3 and another from 5 to 6. Nadia's lessons are scheduled in between from 4 to 5 and then 6 to 7. Since they only have one classroom, they have to take turns using it. As for why they never expanded, well, that's a bit of a longer story. In China, the college entrance exam, the Gaokao, has long been seen as a fairest way for young people to change their social class. But in recent years, the booming tutoring industry started to tip that balance. In big cities, many parents began paying huge sums for after-school classes and famous tutors. To stop education inequality from getting worse, the government started a massive crackdown on the tutoring industry in 2021, and that wave hit art training schools too. This music school was originally opened by Nadia. The previous owner struggled under the new regulations and eventually shut it down. Nadia and her husband saw an opportunity. They took over the place along with all the pianos and equipment at a very low price. Back then, they only had a few students. Every time they taught, they had to pull down the rolling door, just in case inspectors showed up. If they got caught, the fine could be 10 times what they earned from a lesson. Sometimes they even moved classes to their own apartment, where they had another piano just to avoid trouble. Over time, the government's strict oversight eased, especially as China's economy slowed down. But even now, with no more secret classes, people just don't have much extra money for lessons. So Nadia's music school has stayed small, quiet, steady, and never really growing.
亲爱的，此刻正是天亮，快推开窗，看外面多晴朗。雨去了，需要雨的地方，留给我们最灿烂的阳光。我们在有自己的力量，让美好像大树挺拔生长，花在开，云在飘，笑容在脸上，我们向前方一路向阳。亲爱的你，在路上慢慢逛，看一看太阳，让风轻轻吹拂你的脸庞。今天过去，又到明天，看看天气会怎样。你或晴朗，故事都慢慢上。亲爱的你，此刻晚风斜阳，等一等月亮，美好的事在赶来的路上。时间是河最缤纷的汤，填了每个日常，细细品尝，就会拼出希望。然后发现光一直在身上。
When class ends, the kids immediately crowd around Nadia. It's their favorite moment because she's handing out point cards. Each lesson, she gives them points based on how they perform, and later they can trade those points for small gifts. A simple but fun way to keep them motivated. As the noise fades, the classroom falls quiet again. The students are gone, leaving just Nadia and her husband. But Nadia's work isn't done yet. She still has to write her teaching notes, prepare materials for tomorrow, and print out new sheet music. But for Nadia, this is actually a pretty easy day. On your busiest day, how many classes do you have?
9个小时，中午嘞休息多一宿，
How do you handle lunch?
就弄点面包啥的给你吃。
How does it feel to be in class for 9 hours straight?
人已经不在了，人在，但灵魂不在。
老师对我说，中华是我家。
After work, Nadia seems a lot more relaxed. Instead of heading straight home, she and her husband ride over to a nearby neighborhood to visit a friend. It's one of her old classmates from elementary school, Logan. He's what people in China call a slacker. He spends almost every day at home playing video games. No job, no income, no social life. He only orders takeout once a day. That's his single meal. Because Logan lives alone and rarely goes outside, Nadia worries he might develop some mental health issues. So she visits him from time to time just to chat and keep him company. After learning more about Logan's way of life, we decided to film his story. That video is already up. It's called Chinese Slacker. If you are curious, you can find it right here on the channel.
今天请新哥吃个柴鸡焖羊蹄儿。
After leaving Logan's place, Nadia took us to their favorite spot, a conveyor belt hot pot restaurant. There are over 100 different ingredients rotating on the belt. Each item has a clip or a skewer. If you like it, you grab it and drop it into a pot. When you're done, the clips go back into a counting bin. Different colors mean different prices, most ranging from 15 to 40 cents. This place isn't cheap, but today, Nadia and her husband wanted to treat us. After the meal, they hop on their little electric bikes and head home, passing through familiar streets and their favorite little shops, arriving at their cozy, modest apartment. The first thing Nadia does when she gets home isn't sitting down. She goes straight to the birdcage, gently lifts her parrot onto her hand, and carefully cleans the stains on its tail feathers with a tissue. Meanwhile, her husband grabs a leash and heads out to walk their golden retriever. Twice a day, rain or shine, day or night, never skip. For them, these animals aren't just pets, they are part of the family. Right now in China, there are thousands of young people like Nadia. They don't have earth-shattering stories, and they don't aim to change the world. They may have never left their hometowns, living a simple, steady life based on their craft. And this is a day in the life of a Chinese music teacher.